Well, hello everyone. We're still here broadcasting from HITEC 2022 in Orlando. We're excited to bring to you another opportunity to get to know someone else within our industry that is involved with technology and everything that has to do with that world. I'm Michele Kline with Client Hospitality. I'm here with my co-hostess, Stephanie Leger with First Race Hospitality. Stephanie, how are you?
Very well. It's so great. We're having a great time here at HITEC in Orlando. It's a little hot, but that's all right. You know, not Hotlanta, but O-Town of Orlando. But yes, very excited. It's already been great of catching up with people that we haven't seen in years, and also to meeting new people as well. So we're so excited for our next guest here as well.
Hi, thanks so much for having me.
Ira, tell us, what do you do? Who are you, and why should our listeners and viewers be excited about listening from you since you are an expert?
We have 2 hours, right?
No, we have 15 minutes. Be mindful.
Okay.
You know our industry.
I bet many listeners probably already know me, and they might already be connected with me on LinkedIn. And if you guys are not yet connected with me, please do so. I'll be happy to connect and answer all your questions. My name is Ira Vouk, and I would probably define myself as technology innovator in the industry. Mainly, I do consulting now. What's interesting, I think, about what I do is that I consult both. I consult hospitality technology companies, which is actually my favorite thing to do. I explain them what the industry is all about because many of them are actually not from within the industry. I explain to them it's gonna do a deep dive on the composition of the industry, the main players, the conflicts of interest, the decision makers, and how to scale, how to find user personas and whatnot. And I also consult hospitality companies, explaining them how to use software and how to build their tech stack. So I kind of like this middle layer between the two. I teach hospitality technology at San Diego State University. I recently published 2 books. The latest one is Hospitality 2.0, Digital Revolution in the Hospitality Industry. It's about the technology adoption, about different trends, and what the future holds for us in terms of the technology adoption, AI, machine learning, and cloud computing and whatnot. Also working on another book in the future, should probably be published in the beginning of the next year.
That's exciting.
Yes.
I'm busy.
You're being productive.
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
eliminating the word busy from everybody's vocabulary from
I definitely
one
enjoy
person
it.
at a time. Yes. So what are you expecting to see this week?
I'm very excited about HITEC for sure. I have not missed a single HITEC show in probably 15 years.
Wow.
And it's definitely good to be in person again. So last year was in person, it was a little smaller. This year is bigger, much better than online experience, of course. Networking is my favorite thing to do. Real hugs, real smiles, real happy hours, real parties.
And
all those
hospitality people know
things.
how to party.
Exactly. There's like 10 parties I'm invited to already in the next 3 days. Networking is really my favorite thing. And also looking at the new entrants in the market in the technology field is always very interesting. And seeing who consistently show up year after year in terms of the exhibitors and the technology providers, but also new entrants and all these new wonderful startup companies that appear and they fill these gaps of functionality in our industry, and learn about them and talk about them and offer my services and promote my book. But no, it's really great. Networking is the best at HITEC, my favorite show by far.
Wow. And so we were talking earlier when we were getting to know each other, talking about the metaverse and the web 3.0. Do you think that we'll start seeing more of those types of tech clients here at HITEC this year?
Yes, that's a great question. We know that our industry is slightly conservative when it comes to technology adoption, any technology. including, of course, anything that has to do with the new generation tech, like the metaverse. Metaverse is not really technology; it's more like a continuum, a concept, or a new generation of internet, whatever you call it, and the virtual reality and Web3 and Bitcoin and blockchain and whatnot. Those things, everybody's talking about it in the industry, of course, because outside of the industry, everybody's talking about it. And we're seeing it on TV and Facebook and their steps that these large companies make. Not a lot of people understand what it's about, and especially how to apply this in the hospitality industry, and what the use cases might be. So I'm also working in that field and working on a project around metaverse and Web 3.0 with another wonderful expert in the area. And the goal is to study the specific use cases that can be applied in our industry successfully using those new technologies. And I think that even though it's going to take time for the industry that is as conservative and as old as hospitality to really widely adopt this new tech, but I think it's inevitable because this is where the world is going, and we're going to see it more and more.
Absolutely. And I think also too in all departments, it was always of, the sales side or front desk that we were seeing the technology, but really now in food and beverage or housekeeping or even public area of how technology is enhancing the service for the guest and for them.
And for the team member.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And
Yes.
with labor shortage problem these days,
Yes.
automation is really the only real solution.
And automation, on the one hand, in the sense of bringing technology into our operations, but then on the other hand, how do we use technology to enhance the team member experience?
Yeah,
Right?
there are definitely a lot of different use cases for technology adoption, especially AI, machine learning. One example is automated chatbots that, on one hand, improve customer service because they provide just faster answer to the guest question. On the other hand, they free up the front desk personnel or customer service personnel from answering the same question every day. And I was in the shoes many years ago when I had to answer, where is your hotel? How do I get there? Right now, technology can answer those questions. So I, as a customer service person, as a team member, can allocate more time to actually serving guests and do more wonderful things, provide personal touch and better customer service.
Absolutely. That's great. So what would you say is one of your mouth-opening WTF type of stories, perhaps your very favorite from your years in the industry,
I do
related
have
to
one.
technology or how technology can make things better?
Yeah, I have one. It's a branded property. It was a branded type of story.
We don't want to mention
We
names.
don't want to mention names. I have a specific opinion about the difference in technology adoption between branded properties and independent. And those of you guys who are listening who know me have heard me talk about it. So recently, it happened probably less than a month ago. I was checking into this branded property, and I see the front desk agent or a manager unfolding pieces of, like, layers of towels, hand towels. And under each layer, there is a stack of key cards. As he unfolds, he collects the key cards from one layer, unfolds another one, he collects those key cards. So he ends up with, he goes through 10 layers, and I'm sitting there looking at him, and finally I couldn't
You had
resist.
to
I'm like, what are you doing? He's like,
Sanitizing
what? We are
1.0.
sanitizing our key cards. I'm like, don't you guys have keyless entry type of software? He's like, we do, but it doesn't work because most of the time it only gives you access for one phone, but most of the time you have more than one person, and you can't have both your mobile entry card and a physical key card. So people just by default resort to physical key cards. So we get tons of them. We can't use our technology that we paid for, and we get this. We have to do this layer by layer every day. I was fascinated. It was the moment of glory for me because I'm like, oh my god, Airbnb and companies in alternative accommodation space have solved this problem already many years ago, and we're still going through layers and layers of key card sanitizer.
So this is an interesting story to us because, we do that for a living, right? We try to streamline processes and look for the different ways, and how when you're sitting with a vendor who's providing you with a solution, you may not know as a hotelier how your problem is going to be solved. You just know you have a problem, right?
Mhm.
So I believe, and I think Stephanie operates the same way, where the person on the other side should be the one asking the right questions
Absolutely.
in order to
Yes.
get those answers, which will lead to what is the best way to solve your problem. Because now you're investing in a technology that is solving a problem, but is solving the problem halfway or
Yeah,
creating an
absolutely.
additional problem. So I'm assuming that since you do consulting on both sides, you're guiding your vendors through this process as well
Absolutely.
to ensure that they are asking the right questions and they're looking at the logistics of the operation as a whole, as opposed to just focusing
Absolutely.
on, oh, I'm going to sell this to this hotel or brand, and that's
Mhm.
that.
Mhm.
All right.
All right, well, welcome back. Sorry about that. We just had a WTF moment here where we thought that our laptop was charging to being able to continue on with our broadcast, but that didn't happen. And then all of a sudden, the system went down.
But guess what? We are always prepared,
Yeah.
and we always turn things around, and we always find the solution. So here we are again. So to wrap it up, let's say this is going to be a very exciting week.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And you have a ton to offer our industry. We're grateful that you're here today with us, and we hope to see more of what everybody has to bring for
Mhm.
HITEC 2022.
Yes.
Amazing.
And
Thanks a
where
lot.
can our listeners and viewers be able to find you and look at your book as well?
Thanks for asking. On LinkedIn, for sure. I have the links to my book, or you can find it on Amazon. It's titled Hospitality 2.0. And probably by the end of the summer, I will also release my online learning course that is, again, targeted towards hospitality technology providers.
Wonderful.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much
Thank
for having me. It
you.
was fun. Thank you,
Bye,
guys.
everyone.